Yo, what's going on, guys? And of course, we got to be talking about Ryan Dunn. This guy is looking like the potential steal of the draft. As he was someone in the pre-draft, I know a lot of people were going to compare him to, not that their play styles are similar, but to Herb Jones as a guy who was one of, if not the best defenders in college when he came into the draft. A bit of an older prospect, went to the Pelicans and ended up being an instant contributor because of his defense, and his offense actually ended up being a lot more further along than we thought. And I thought Ryan Dunn, people were going to think he was going to be in the similar vein, and I didn't know if his offensive game was going to be there, but I was wrong. This guy has been phenomenal. So before we start today's video, I want to hear your thoughts down below. What do you guys think of Ryan Dunn? And let's get right into it, and let's talk about what we've seen and really how he's been shining through the preseason. So first off, Ryan Dunn was selected 28th overall in the 2024 NBA draft, and he was a guy who came out of the University of Virginia, 21 years old, 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan, about 210 pounds. In college, he averaged 8.7 rebounds, about an assist a game, 2.5 blocks, 1.5 steals, shot 55% from the field, 20% from three, and 53% from the free throw line. And we already knew he was going to be an elite defender, going to be able to arguably be a quintessential definition of a 1-5 defender who was going to generate block steals at a decent rate and even maybe potentially excel as a weak side rim protector, as he's going to be a guy who's always going to be active in transition, hustles for and dives for loose balls, and contributes on the offensive glass. And he's a solid rebounder and a solid, cutter and slasher, and is a good finisher at the rim. Now, when we look at this, his offensive game was difficult to project, and right now, as a guy who was known for his elite defense, he's showing off a significantly improved jumper, making him potentially a valuable asset for a Phoenix Suns team that needs guys to be able to play off the bench for them, as they are a team that has championship aspirations. They are handicapped because of the financial tax aprons that have been put in place because of the latest CBA. So looking at that, I know again it's preseason. They played Bol Bol, Royce O'Neal, Mason Plumlee, Ryan Dunn, Monte Morris primarily this game. So we don't really know what the lineup is going to look like. But what we do know is that Ryan Dunn, as a guy who is showing off he could be a contributor not only on the defensive end but on the offensive end, is huge. As Dunn's recent performance against the Denver Nuggets and the Suns' 118-114 win is the latest of that impact. Like and subscribe. Let me hear your thoughts down below in the comment section if you guys like Ryan Dunn. I want to hear what you guys think the rotation is going to be. He went 6 for 11 from the three-point range, bringing his preseason tally to 12 of 27 from three, 44.4%, which is obviously starkly different from his career stats. In 65 games at Virginia, he shot 12 of 51, 23.5% from three. And this newfound shooting aggression and confidence from deep has just been something that has impressed me, as his improved accuracy was arguably the biggest concern that caused him to slip to the back end of the first. Defensively, Ryan Dunn has lived up to the hype. In the game against Denver, he contributed 2 steals, 3 blocks, 20 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, showcasing his ability to guard multiple positions and his outstanding off-ball instincts. His quick lateral movements allowed him to stay with guards. He kept his hips, open and in front of his man, which allowed him to keep his in solid defensive positioning, while the size and strength that he has allows him to guard forwards and wings, and even obviously ball handlers. Now, Dunn's development as a ball handler is something else I'll notice. Like, this guy wasn't really a playmaker, but the ability that he's been able to go out there, show that the NBA's extra space is benefiting him, allowing him to be a better decision maker. He has 6 assists and 3 turnovers in 4 games, which obviously, small sample size, but a significant improvement over his college ratio of 35 assists to 42 turnovers across 2 years. While obviously it's still the preseason, Dunn doesn't just look like a late first round pick. He's looking like a guy who was a lottery pick. If his preseason form carries into the season, he could earn minutes, possibly taking some from Royce O'Neal, maybe even Grayson Allen, and a few of the other guys. In the long run, he might even contend for a starting role. Look, this is a guy that, if in the recent game we saw, obviously, Monte Morris, Royce O'Neal, Bol Bol playing. Bol Bol is a guy who's looking solid, but I do like this team. And currently, if we look at their depth chart, which I'll put on the screen in a second, as we we try to figure out who could potentially be on the board with, I guess, Mr. I don't know if you guys heard that. You guys definitely heard that. But if on the board with Mr. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name, Ryan Dunn, it's definitely going to be interesting to see which players that could be. So on the screen right here, we have the assuming starting lineup: Tyus Jones, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Jusuf Nurkic. I like that. Sixth man could be a combination of Grayson Allen and Monte Morris. I think they're going to go out with Grayson Allen, and I think Grayson Allen's sixth man, then Royce O'Neal is the seventh man, eighth man Josh Okogie, then backup point guard, ninth man Monte Morris, backup center Mason Plumlee, and then that's when I think Ryan Dunn, Bol Bol, Oso Iguodaro are fighting for those minutes. And obviously we got the 3 2-ways with Jalen Bridges, who I really like, Colin Gillespie, Ty Washington. And then we still have Damian Lee, who at this point, if you look at that, there's one roster spot being competed. I don't think Moses Wood is being on the team. I know Mamadi Diakite is a guy that Mike Budenholzer really likes and has an affinity for. But if I had to choose, I think you got to Frank the Tank. I think he fits perfect there. But again, I think the 10-man rotation is what you see right there. Mason Plumlee, Royce O'Neal, Josh Okogie, Grayson Allen, Monte Morris. Bol, Ryan Dunn are two, and Oso Iguodaro. Oso Iguodaro is trying to take minutes from Mason Plumlee and Jusuf Nurkic and try to be this year's Trace Jackson Davis. Bol is trying to take minutes from Josh Okogie and Royce O'Neal. Ryan Dunn is a guy that can take minutes from 3 guys: Grayson Allen, Josh Okogie, Royce O'Neal, as he's a guy who's able to play multiple positions. So he's one who could really seriously earn a solid amount of minutes. And I know we've talked about Herb Jones at this point in the videos, and we obviously, I think we need to give him a comparison to, he was a guy his rookie year for the Pelicans. He played 30 minutes a night, averaged 9.5 points, 48% from the field, 33.7% from 3, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, just under 2 steals a night, and about a block a game. However, I think what we need to look at is those splits, like what did those numbers look like? Because he was a guy that, if you guys didn't realize, he came out starting. All right. I believe he's literally, maybe he didn't start the first couple games, but his rookie season, he became a contributor literally by the beginning. And yeah, it was like 25 minutes to start. And I don't think there is minutes like that for Ryan Dunn. But yeah, I think it's going to be a solid year for the Phoenix Suns. And I like it. What do you guys think, if you made it to the end of the video, about Ryan Dunn? And do you guys agree? Is he a steal for the Phoenix Suns? But that's it. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. Go check out my work at Hoopsite. We're posting a bunch of stuff right now, but I do love every single one of you. If you guys did make it to the end, peace out.